Testing one, two, three. Testing one, two, three. Let's get into it, guys. Let's get into it. What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Woke E-Bucks, Woke Family, man. What is up? And we are back again with another live stream. You know the vibes. Listen, we got a lot of stuff to uncover tonight, right? We have a lot of things to talk about, and we're gonna get into it right now. Andrew Tate Hospital update. It is at least being reported on Twitter now that they're saying that Andrew or Tristan, one of the Tate brothers, is a poor, because obviously a week ago the Matrix attacked and they were arrested, right? And some people claim that he was doing something that had to do in regards to sex trafficking women. I personally don't believe it, right? I'm an avid fan of him as well too. I support his stuff, but it's a situation now that they're claiming that he is being hospitalized, right? And what we're going to do right now is that we're basically going to go over this tweet, and then I'm going to break it down, and then I'm going to explain it to you in my own terms. But just understand one thing. In the society in which we live in, when you're a masculine man and you try to preach the truth, when you try to stand on masculine principles, understand that the society and the government is going to try to attack you in so many different ways. They don't want you to be masculine. They don't want you to stand on principles. They don't want you to do things that are going to help the society better itself. Instead, they want you to be able to be a bot and continue to listen to what they're trying to force feed you. What they're trying to force feed you. And then when you try to become a free thinker and think outside of what they're trying to teach you, that's when they shut you down. That's when they jail you. That's when they try to. You feel what I'm saying? They don't want you to be a free thinker. This is exactly why you have to try to break free of the matrix. But regardless of the situation, we're going to get into this tweet. I'm going to explain my own side, and then we're going to start watching a couple of reaction videos, all right? Let's get into it, man. So this Tate is from Andrew Tate himself. This tweet was about roughly 8-9 hours ago. So he said, "The Matrix attacked me. The Matrix has attacked me, but they misunderstand. You cannot kill an idea. Hard to kill." So this right here is according to Christina Pisolanu, right? Or Pinsolanu, something like that. Piesolanu. It says new information about what is happening with the Tate brothers in custody, right? Like I told you guys before, they were arrested 8 days ago. The Matrix attacked, and there was actually somebody, and I'll actually post the link to that maybe in the description, or we might do it in tomorrow's live stream. Somebody who said that they got some type of security intel information from big tech and all of these companies that claimed that by the end of 2022, right, that the Tates were going to be arrested, which eventually ended up coming to pass. Mind me, Andrew has been proclaiming about this, not even proclaiming, but predicting this in podcasts with the Nelk Boys and all the other people talking about, oh, they were going to try to come and arrest him. But without further ado, like I said, let's get into this article. So it says right here, after more than a week since the Tate brothers were apparently placed in custody, right, or were placed in custody, new information about what is happening when the two Britons is revealed. The former fighters investigated for human trafficking, right? Like we're talking about the sex trafficking thing, and Grape would be worried about their health as one of them has already arrived in the hospital, right? Now, only Andrew and Tristan and the government know what the situation is. But what I am going to tell you, though, is that you have to start thinking outside of what mainstream media tells you. They want you to be stuck in the matrix. They don't want you to be able to be a free thinker. They tell you something, you listen. They tell you the cough is real. They tell you to get the jab. You listen. You don't question things. They tell you that you need to do certain things. You need to start being a free thinker. You need to start thinking for the reality and seeing things the way that they truly are, and start questioning the reality. Because when you don't question it, that's when all of these negative things happen. You have somebody here that's reporting that they're in the hospital, right? Only God knows whether it's true or false. What I am trying to tell you, though, is that the Matrix has attacked them, right? They've been jailed now for at least 30 days, right? And their cars have been seized, right? All of these things, all because they were trying to promote military-age men to not be simps, to not be people that are going to be disrespected, to not be people that are going to be taken advantage of, people that are not going to be controlled easily. They cancel him off of all social media platforms. They jail him now. And then the next thing they do is, you feel what I'm saying? This could be leading to it, because if this is the reality, he's in the hospital now. especially after he's been jailed for 30 days at least. This is crazy. Like, I'm telling y'all right now, all jokes aside, they don't want you to be a free thinker. They don't want you to be able to reason for yourself. They don't want you to be able to see the reality. They want you to be stuck in the matrix. Right? Hold on one second. If you guys couldn't have seen the article, my bad. This is where I got the information from. But yeah, they don't want you to be a free thinker. You got to start breaking outside of the matrix. Start seeing the truth for the way it is. You feel what I'm saying? That's the reality. It is what it is. Even if people try to shame you, call you a misogynist, a neo-Nazi, a racist, it is what it is. Accept it. They don't want you to be. They want you to be able to. They want you to be able to deny what you see with your eyes. You have to start rejecting all of these things because they're meant to destroy you. They're meant to bring harm upon you. But you got to be smarter than that. You understand? Woke family. This is for us. This is a fight that we have to fight. You can't abandon the fight. You can't run away from the fight. You have to face it head forward. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's just reality. But regardless, like I said, be prepared because a lot of things are going to happen in 2023. We're going to be seeing a lot of tragedies, a lot of deaths, a lot of good things too. But just be aware that this year is going to be a very, very epic year. A lot of weird things are going to happen. Right? Understand that. But without further ado, what we're going to do is we're going to start getting into another video. All right? Give me 2 seconds, guys. We're going to be watching Ethan Klein from L3 talking about Aiden Ross, shout out to Aiden, apparently attacking him and his wife, which is crazy. I don't think Aiden would be the type of person to do that, but let's see what's going on. All right, 1 second, guys. Let's get into it. Okay, let's do it.
Today I was insulted by potentially the dumbest person alive, and my wife was called ugly. I was called fat. No surprises, but the insults came from,
You already, Ethan, this is the problem though, bro. You already insulted him by calling him the dumbest person alive. But then again, I understand why you would say that in your opinion, because you said that he apparently insulted your wife. So let's continue.
Oh, you've heard the expression, don't throw stones if you're in a glass house. This glass house happens to be by the name of Aiden Ross. He has come for me. Now, admittedly, I did go pretty hard on him on Hassan's stream, but he is defending a known human trafficker and R-wordist, so I kind of think...
Okay, this is my question to you, though. How do you know that Tate is a human trafficker? Were you there when he quote-unquote trafficked the women? Or are you just assuming and talking out your butt? You're just talking to talk. You're chatting right now, my brother. You're chatting. What are you talking about for real? How do you know he's really trafficked? And this is the thing you have to pay attention to when it comes to psychology, guys. Pay attention to his facial expressions. When somebody is not sure about what they're saying or is lying, they're either going to look to the left side of their eye or look not directly at you or not look directly at the camera. They can't look at you straight in your face and tell you the truth. They have to lie. They have to come up with a series of lies in order to be able to make you seem like, oh, you're dumb enough to actually believe what I'm talking about. They can't look at you directly in front of your face. So you know he's capping. Look at where he's looking. He's looking to the ground. That's how you know he's lying, because he can't even look directly in your eye and tell you that Andrew Tate is a human sex trafficker, because he doesn't even believe that. But he wants to lie in order to be able to get clicks, in order to be able to get views. So when these people get exposed, never believe them again. Shame on you, my brother. You're not even my brother. In fact, shame on you, bro.
Think he deserves it on that one, but he came back. And here I am on break, but when I hear the war horn sound, boy, you know I answer that call. So let's take a look at this clip. Aiden Ross gets right into it. Coming to hurt my feelings. Here it goes.
Podcast is like literally like ass, like shit. Like I could make a podcast and it would just be so much better. If me and Ant made a podcast, that shit would fucking blow him out the water.
Bro, how you going to make a podcast when you're like barely literate? I don't know if you know this, but podcasts, they require a certain level of reading and research, or at least good ones.
Even if that's the truth, I'd rather watch him than watch you. Like I used to watch a lot of his streams, probably back in 2021 and 2022. This dude is actually entertaining. You, on the other hand, you have a very monotone voice, and this is what you sound like all the day. like, no one wants to watch that, bro. I'm sorry. You feel what I'm saying? Like, no, bro. I'm all good. I'm all set.
So let's focus on getting that GED first before the podcast. But by all means, go ahead if you think you can.
Motherfucker has like a quill podcast. I'm talking about that fat fuck L3L3. Fuck that.
Okay, first of all, this accusation of fat fuck, I take offense of. They're not going to be able to be saying that about me for very long, right? You know that the day is going to end soon. And I'm not one to make fun of.
And if the day, okay, so if the day is going to end soon of them calling you a fat fuck, according to what they said, those aren't my words, right? Then let that motivate you to get into the gym and lose the weight. Get back into shape. Don't let that piss you off. At least in the way that you're allowing it to piss you off. Allow it to piss you off in the sense that you use that as motivation to get into the gym and lose the weight. You have to understand one thing in life, woke family. We all have decisions that we have to make. And these decisions are going to determine whether we're moving 5 years into the future or 5 years backward. Reality, that's just facts.
Someone's body, but listen, if somebody's gonna call you fat, I mean, dude, you're looking a little fucking pudgy here. This is Aiden Ross getting his head shaved in solidarity with Andrew Tate, the human trafficker, of course, great guy to stand up for. Actually, I heard that Aiden's doing a seance to contact the ghost of Jeffrey Epstein to wish him a happy new year.
That's far. That's very, very demonic. Why would you even say something like that?
Actually, because he thinks he's a great guy as well. So here he is, and I'm just saying that it's a little flabby, bro. You could tighten that up before you call me fat. And for the record, how old are you? 21? When I was 21, I was looking tighter and nicer than that. Okay, I'm 37. I got kids and a wife. Let me see your fucking body.
Just because you have kids and a wife doesn't mean you should be fat. Doesn't mean you should be out of shape. It's a choice that you have to make, right? I'll give you a story. I remember 5-6 months ago, me having a conversation with one of my friends at the time, and he was giving me advice, and he was telling me, listen, bro, I think that you can definitely level up in your life, and you got to start getting back on the grind and getting back to the gym. That affected me, and I was like, you know what, you're right, bro. Ever since then, going to the gym, drinking a lot more water. You feel what I'm saying? I finished my water already. But you got to let these things motivate you, and you got to push harder. Because at the end of the day, you as a man, if you can't take care of your responsibility, then you can't expect yourself to level up. So it is what it is. Let's continue though.
When you're 37, boy, this guy did not just call me fat. Well, get it in now. Enjoy it while you can, because my ass about to be skinny.
That nigga, bro. Hey, if I see that nigga on the streets, I'm beating his ass.
Yo!
If I see that nigga in the streets, I'm beating his ass. Fuck L3L3.
And shut up, bitch. You're not doing shit. You're going to beat my ass if you see me on the street? Shut the fuck up, dude. You're going to look the other way and pretend like you didn't see me. I saw this comment. Aiden got Andrew Tate's dick so far up his ass, he actually thinks he's...
No, I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of sus. The fact that you even think like that, talking about him, yeah, I'm not even gonna repeat it. That's sus. You're done for, buddy.
He's a kickboxer. Okay? No, dude. You and your homies not doing shit. And try it, bro. I've been on the treadmill. I guarantee I run faster than you. Good. Hey, you know what? That's a good idea. Why don't you come assault me? Let's see how many of Aiden Ross's close friends we can get into prison. That's right. He keeps the best company. What was the name? Tory Lanez just went to prison for like 15 years for shooting somebody. Of course.
Yeah. You do give off the energy of somebody who does prey on people's downfall. This is a L. You're saying he went to jail for 15 years for shooting. Were you there? How do you know? How do you know that the people that are being accused of these things are actually guilty, or are you just so much of an NPC that when somebody tells you something, when the news, when society tells you something, you just believe and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I believe you. Like, what's up, bro? Like, what's going on, man? Like, you don't question things. I thought you were red pill at a point in time. Oh man, it seems like you sold out, man.
Of course, Andrew Tate is about to go to prison for about 15 years for human trafficking. So, yeah, that sounds about right. Surround yourself with violent criminals, Aiden Ross. That's the vibe. Pudgy ass fuck.
And his ooh. Yo!
Ooh, his ooh.
Yo, chill out, bro. Chill out.
And his wife ugly. Yo.
Yo, all right, you see it?
I'm genuinely confused. How do they always call my wife ugly? Like every time, and I talk about this all the time. They call me fat, and they call Hila ugly, and it's like none of them know each other, right? This isn't like some concerted effort to attack Hila.
Okay.
I just find it so interesting that they all have this idea that telling me that my significant other is ugly is like the biggest diss on me. I mean, you know what I mean? You want to call my wife ugly. You have zero wife. You don't have a...
Well, having a wife at 22, 23 is not really a flex. But to add on to your point, though, it is kind of a diss on you if your wife is ugly because you chose. You know what I'm saying? At least, I mean, to an extent, even though she chose you, but you also had to agree. She didn't hold a gun to your head and say, you have to marry me right now. You know what I'm saying? So understand this one thing. I'm not telling you, I don't know what type of woman your wife is. I'm not going to speak on her negatively. I would not do all those things. What I'm here to tell you, though, is that as a man, if you're on your game and you're on top of your ish and you level up, you can always find more women. Now, whether you choose to exercise that option is completely up to you. That's a choice that you have to make. But just understand that there's a multitude of them out there for a fact. Let's continue.
a significant other, lonely ass bitch. The only people hang out with you are on payroll. And then the only guy who will be your daddy is Andrew Tate, who, by the way, is grooming you like one of his cam girls.
Grooming?
Okay,
That's crazy.
I seen the gay porno you guys shot back in Romania when you flew all the way out there to visit daddy because he's not allowed to
Gay porno is crazy. Why are you, bro? What are you doing, man?
United States because he's wanted for sex trafficking. That's
Yeah, you seem like a very, very miserable person. I would not want to come around.
right, bitch boy. I seen it. I seen when you sniffed his chair. Andrew Tate does not give a fuck about you. He's grooming you because he knows that your audience is a bunch of young, dumb, fucking kids that are
Why would he need to groom Aiden though? Like, you got to explain that, man. What purpose does he have of grooming Aiden?
exactly his demographic for selling his trash.
What are you? Yeah, you're chatting.
Easy money is what you are. You're a mark. This is why I'm here. I live for this shit, Aiden. Here is Aiden Ross on the Nelk podcast defending Andrew Tate. You know, in one of the reports, it said that Andrew Tate had some of his girls, quote unquote, they had to tattoo on their bodies, I love Andrew Tate or I belong to Andrew Tate. That's all in the news. That's all what's being reported. Well, he kind of did that to Aiden with the bald head, right? I mean, if anything, that's kind of like he's expressing ownership over you, Aiden. I'm sorry, but what's more beta? Okay. Peace and love, dude.
Your
This is an
experience meeting
outtake,
him. When
bro.
I met him, bro, he took me in, open arms, me and my whole entire crew, like literally all of us. And we would talk like basically off camera for hours and hours and hours about
No way.
real shit, just real motivational life shit.
No way you talked to Andrew Tate off camera for you mean he groomed you, bitch?
Point where you maybe can't fuck with him anymore?
I'm not gonna lie though, Ethan. This is a L video, bro. Because how do you feel coming after a man that's half your age? You're like 40 something years old, or maybe even your 30s, bro. And you're attacking a kid that's like 22, 23 years old. This is an L video, bro.
Man, that's like a really good question to ask because it's like,
Is that hard? How about if he goes to jail for 15 years for human trafficking, which is what's going to happen?
I don't know I don't.
Yeah. I'm gonna pray for you, my man. You got some type of demonic being in you, bro. Because it's sad that you literally pray on the downfall of other people, and you make it seem as if you're God and you know exactly what's gonna happen. You're gonna look like a loser when this man does not get convicted. Shame on you.
I don't even know what's gonna happen to him, bro. Like I don't know like how it's so
We gotta wait
yeah.
and see too.
Gotta wait and
because like
see.
you can't
Yeah.
just. I mean, the internet's so fucked now. You really can't believe anything. We just gotta wait and
I
see
know.
what happens.
So I don't know if you guys, I did a pod with H.
I talked about this with Hassan, but Bradley Martin comes out big right here, bro. He comes out with some legit receipts, and he gets totally dismissed by the Nelk boys. And you can see the level of research that goes on here. But let's enjoy Bradley being a king here.
Yesterday, right? But I have a question about this. Like, have you ever looked at his website where he was talking about what, like, prior to, I don't know the other stuff he was selling, but he was on his website talking about his process of getting women for the cam girl thing.
Yeah.
Do you guys know if that is true? Have you seen these?
What
Like,
was the process that
Yeah, I
you
don't
saw?
know.
I don't. Again, like this is just stuff that I seen, and this is devil's advocate now at this point because the whole thing that I'm trying to see is like,
I feel bad for Bradley because, like, I think I actually got through to him, and he's trying to do the right thing, but he knows he's in kind of like a pit of vipers here. Nobody wants to hear this shit. The boys don't want to hear this. The audience don't want to hear this, and they're just going to see him as like a snake for actually trying to bring a legitimate research point to the table. You can even see in the comments. Watch this shit. Make me fucking furious. Hold on. Look at this comment with like 19 likes. Like this is a well-received comment. Brad looks two-faced. Rare W for Steiny. He's this little bitch boy who you'll see stands up for sticking up for Tate. Horrible example by Brad. Shut the fuck up, dude. Y'all really believe that?
if he's actually convicted for sex trafficking, like it's fucked. It's gonna be a really bad thing.
Of course.
So
I heard it was money laundering though.
That's what I heard too.
People
but
say
then
a lot of
somebody
Who
told-
knows, bro?
Somebody
No.
told me
Y'all are such idiots. The only place I've heard it's Munderling is from you fucking bozos.
it's just. And then again, I thought he got released. It's just so much fake news.
So yeah,
I don't
so this
know.
is the thing. I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently Tate had a website in which he wrote out like what he was doing, like, and it was all, I think it was almost like a self-help version to like teach guys how to almost in a sense get girls. And again, I can't say this is 100% true because I didn't see the website myself, but I'm looking at these screenshots and there's this thing that says my job was to get women to fall in love with me. Like this is a screenshot from a website. I don't know if this was his website. He said.
Okay. Hold on, Brad. Let me ask you this question. All jokes aside. Is it a bad thing as a man to get women to fall in love with you? Keep it like woke family, like keep it a buck, man. Is it a bad thing to get a woman to fall in love with you? I don't see the problem with it, bro. That's what a woman is naturally supposed to want to do if she's dealing with you, is to naturally fall in love with you.
Literally, that was my job. My job was to meet a girl, go on a few dates, sleep with her, test if she's quality, get her to fall in love with me, to where she'd do anything I'd say, and then get her on webcam so we could be rich together. Whether you agree or disagree with what I did, their loyalty, submission, and love for me doesn't matter. You cannot reject the results, and the results are simple. My girlfriends would do more for me than 99% of men's wives would do for them. So I don't know if this was on his actual
It
site or not.
was.
Well, real quick, what's
It's archived, right? Like this is 100% bona fide real. It's on his website. It's archived. It's like this was his course he was selling.
well, real quick, what's wrong with that at their legal age?
And again, here's kind of the common denominator. You got to lay off the happy dad or something. You don't have many brain cells left, bro. This is stymie. What's wrong with coercing women,
Whoa.
telling them you're in love with them,
Whoa.
making them lose crust?
Whoa. Chill out. Do you know what it means to coerce a woman, my brother? Do you know what it means to coerce a woman? That means you're forcing her to fall in love with you. You're forcing her to have sex with you. You know what I'm saying? How is he doing that if he's getting them to fall in love with him? Is by them falling in love with him, nothing is forced. It's genuine, at least from the woman's side. You understand? So how is he forcing them if they're genuinely wanting to do what they want to do? Therefore, I'm asking, what is the problem in a woman falling in love with a man? Is that not the way that God wanted it to be for all of us? Right? What are we talking about?
Cross country, coerce them into cam girl work.
Stop capping.
What's wrong with that?
You're a hater.
Go couldn't possibly think of anything. Oh, and by the way, in the stories about the human trafficking, this lover boy technique that Tate used, he would talk to girls a lot, kind of like how he flirts with Aiden Ross, convince them that he wanted them to move there and marry him and be in like a serious committed relationship with him. So they came there under the pretense of like, oh, we're together, we're going to get married, we're going to have a life together. And then he goes, get to work in the cam. And there's armed guards outside. So what the fuck's wrong with that, dude?
Okay, so that's the thing. So I was looking into this last night, and like I don't know enough about sex trafficking. I don't know enough about this to even speak on it as like a professional. I'm not in that like realm, but apparently it's a type of sex trafficking called like lover boy, whereas like you get girls, you convince them to want to work with you.
You do know a lot about this, though.
Yeah, I was looking into it last night.
Yeah, so Kyle, of course, is like, bro, you did research for this podcast? Like, are you fucking gay or something? You read about human trafficking when you knew you were coming in to have a conversation literally about it?
A lot about this, though.
You know the deal, Bradley. No research, no planning. This is the Full Send podcast. Can you imagine criticizing your co-host for doing fucking research? What are you, fucking some kind of dork?
You know a lot about this, though. You know a lot about this, though. You know a lot about
I'm gonna skip. You better get to the point.
Apparently, it is a form of sex trafficking, which is like you're getting a girl to fall in love with you. And if all I'm saying is if what he put on his website right there,
which he did,
is actually true, then like
it's
a mission. It's self-admission.
Yes, thank you, Wadley Wharton.
Like doing that.
Yeah, I don't think that's enough, but
Yeah, no, I mean obviously
Yeah, you don't think it's enough? Well, I mean, who the
I mean, why would it be enough? Why?
fuck are you even, dude? Dumbass. Did you guys know that stymie means to prevent or hinder the progress of, which is kind of interesting because
Stiny, not stymie, buddy.
Bro, like you just literally have no idea what's going on. Like I literally thought he was released at one point. You know, they're saying, like you said, money laundering. We just gotta wait and see, bro.
Yeah.
It's such a weird.
Well, he's in jail for 30 days. All of his cars have been impounded, and they're going to be sold to pay off the victims and pay for the cost.
How do you know this? Are you just talking to talk?
Of the investigation. So, I mean, how long are we waiting to see, right? At what point have we seen? I don't know.
Let's talk about your trip in Dubai, too. Because I got to tell you, bro, that your stream with Tate I watched the whole thing, was probably the funniest stream I've ever seen.
You and Tate are very funny together.
It's insane, bro. It's hilarious.
It's a fucking funny
I love the.
I love how they go. Andrew Tate, who probably, let's say, there's a chance he committed human trafficking. But anyway, he's so funny. He is such a good guy. Let's forget about all that and focus on this guy is so dope.
The dynamic duo we have, the chemistry is great, bro. It's just, you know, when you see that, it's just, I talked to him. Well, I talked to him a lot when there was no cameras on, you know, through.
Dude, he's smitten. This man is straight up got lover boy groomed by Andrew Tate. Look at this guy. He's fully convinced that when Andrew gets out, they're going to.
Why am I seeing Jew on Jew crime, bro? That's crazy. Y'all are both Jewish. Like, why are you guys attacking each other?
Get married. Or like Andrew's going to officially adopt him, right? And he can be Aiden Tate or some shit.
We text and stuff, and we'd call, and like I said, that's I had a genuine bond and friendship with him, and people really like don't understand that like this all happening actually like affects me because it's like that's my friend.
Yeah, imagine the girls. Imagine how that affects them.
I talk to him on a daily basis. Like, hey, bro, like I'm in a slump right now. Like, how do I get out of bed today? Like, I don't feel good. Like mentally, he's like, you just tell me advice. Like, yo, you need to get the fuck up out of your bed. Like, you laying there is not gonna do anything. You know what I mean?
That is incredible advice, by the way. You know, Aiden Ross wants to act like he knows anything about the world. Check this shit out.
Motherfuckers in the world will never get the chance to buy a Bugatti.
Right.
100%.
You're right.
No, what were you saying though? You were saying some good shit though.
Okay, so the average salary is what, like $100,000?
No.
What?
Did you just hear this motherfucker?
What's the average salary?
Bro, probably like what, 20, 30K, bro?
No way.
Yeah, so I mean, this guy has no concept of hard work or money or anything. He really $100,000. I mean, come on, bro.
Crazy.
Can you really be that fucking dumb? Yes. And sheltered? Yes. Hey guys, tell me this: would you rather be fat, which you can change, right? You can change being fat, or would you rather be incurably fucking dumb, dude? Why, have you ever seen a dumber person in your life? Watch this.
What does a fascist mean?
And just remember, this guy says he's going to make a better podcast than me.
It means you are a far right authorization on ultra-analytic. Oh my God, analyst, political ideology movement characterized by dictator leadership, centralized autocracy, militarism, forcible suppression of opposition. So I don't know what that means, bro. I swear to God, I don't know what the fuck a fascism is. I don't know what the fuck that is.
All right.
But
there's Aiden Ross, who is going to have a better podcast than me, clearly.
Ethan used to be cool as shit, but he just got weird. I don't know.
This is another funny thing. This is Aiden Ross, the Fallen fan. You know it. You know what it is. We've seen it 1,000 times.
Ethan used to be cool as shit, but he just got weird. I don't know. He just got too weird. But I don't know.
He got fat, and his wife's ugly, and then I realized he's not funny anymore. Yeah, anyway, honestly, I'm not mad at all. I just thought it was a good opportunity to make some content. And by the way, these comments on the subreddit were so funny. I'll be honest. I mean, I by the way, I was talking mad shit about him on Hassan's stream, so obviously he's entitled to, you know, shit on me, and that's fine. I mean, obviously what he says is horrible, and he's totally wrong, by the way. But check this shit out. They go, I can feel the Ethan Klein channel notification. Boy, you know it. I can feel the Ethan Klein channel video coming. Y'all know what it is, baby. So that, you know, I'm just taking the best of it. Honestly, Aiden's a fucking idiot, and hopefully he's going to have to deal with the repercussions of...
All right, bro, he's just chatting right now. All right, woke family. All right, woke family chat. Let's get to the next video, man. We're gonna watch a video by Sony Faz. Shout out to Sony Faz.
Today, you can get millions.
This is him reacting to NPCs on why they hate Tate.
What is up, everyone? We're in a suburb of Boston's NPCville, asking strangers what they think about Andrew Tate. Let's get into it. What are your thoughts on Andrew Tate?
I don't like him at all.
Why?
Because his opinions don't, like, I don't agree with it.
What opinions?
Cheating and everything, like that stuff. Also, my boyfriend believes in it, so I don't like it.
Your boyfriend rocks with Tate, but you don't?
Yeah, he follows him on Instagram. So
if your boyfriend rocks with Tate and you don't think he's gonna break up with you eventually? And I'm not praying for that, but I'm just being honest. You feel what I'm saying? You better get on board, sister.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't like Andrew Tate.
So because of the cheating stuff, is that the big thing or anything else?
Yeah, I don't know anything else about him, so.
Well, hopefully your boyfriend doesn't cheat on you. At least she listed a reason. You know, a lot of the other ones have zero clue, but he does say men can cheat and women.
Sonny, she didn't really list a real reason. She just brought up cheating. What did he specifically say about cheating? But compared to everybody else, yeah.
Men can't, so I guess you gotta give it to her there. I'm sure you guys have heard of him, but what are your thoughts on Andrew Tate?
He's not a good person.
Why?
Why?
He just got arrested.
So because he got arrested, it makes him a bad person?
For what?
So?
Like sex trafficking?
Oh. No. A real reason. That's The Matrix. You've heard it. You've watched The Matrix, right?
No, I'm out.
So, all right. Do you disagree with like anything he said?
You think I know everything he says?
Yeah. So imagine hating somebody so much that you don't even know why. You have such an emotional reaction to why you don't like somebody, and you don't know why. An L.
I don't know. I'm asking you. I'm sure you guys have heard of him, but what are your thoughts on Andrew Tate?
I fucking hate that guy.
Why?
Because he's a misogynistic piece of shit.
What do you think?
I just don't like him. He's just a bad person.
I can't name anything specific, but I just don't like him. Like, I just don't like his vibe and, like, his general personality.
Do you think that's a problem that, like...
The people that bullied me in high school, so I just don't like him.
I love Andrew Tate. That's my boy.
Exactly. It's the black people that are base, which is funny.
Oh, no, dude.
That's
You just
my
pissed your
boy.
girl off. What do you think of him?
Yeah,
No, because here's a hit. Let me tell you something. People hate Andrew Tate, but they never give a real reason on why.
Exactly. He's based. Imagine hating somebody so much and you don't know why you hate that person.
Oh, yeah, he's Messiah. Oh, he's feminist. What has he actually said that says F women? He never,
Quite the opposite.
That's what I'm saying, man. He's just mad because he... Oh,
My
come
man,
on,
bro.
man.
The Matrix has come to attack Sony.
Oh.
Don't...
What?
It's not. It's a non-carbon emitting camera.
It doesn't matter. You cannot film here.
Even if it's non-carbon emitting?
What the hell is that got to do?
Well, it helps the environment.
No, but you're breaking the law.
All right. Well, I guess we'll just go save the environment elsewhere.
Put it away and stay, or take it.
All right. Thank you, boss. Oh, you're good, bro. Thanks for your answer, though. Like, he's like radioing and shit. What are your thoughts on Andrew Tate?
I hope he stays in jail.
Why?
Because he, did sex trafficking?
But that's not true, though.
What? What do you mean? It's not
That's just.
See, these people don't really have a real reason for why they think the way they think. And it's sad. It's actually sad. Like, it's like, bro, imagine being programmed so much where you can't even think for yourself and people are telling you how to think. You see something with your eyes and you know it's true, but then you're forced to believe it's not true. That's an L. Y'all gotta wise up, man. Shout out to my Jamaicans.
Just the news titles. It's the Matrix attacking him.
There's facts behind it? What do you mean?
No, there's no facts behind it. I'm sorry. Have you disagreed with anything that he said?
Like everything? Yeah.
Like what specifically? Here, I actually got you a little gift.
Watch, you can't even name it.
I'll give you $5 if you can tell me something specific that he said with context that you don't like.
Well, he believes men are better than women, which isn't true. That everyone's equal despite their gender.
No. He thinks that men and women have their differences. So a woman would be better with nurturing kids, making a nice home, stuff like that. And men, go out and do the BS.
Fine.
They go to war. They get bullets flown at them.
That's not necessarily true. Women go to war too, and there's.
Let's not cap on this app. Let's not listen. Let's not cap on this app. If you were to put 100 women in the room and ask them, out of the 100 women, how many women would actually go to war? The most you would see would actually be 5. The most amount of women you would see out of 100 women that would be willing to go to war would be 5 out of the 100. The rest are going to be scared and poop their pants. They might shit their pants. I'm going to be honest. Whereas in men, we don't have an option. What are we talking about?
There's also plenty of stay-at-home dads who do just as fine.
And when I say we don't have an option, I'm talking about if the poop really hits the fan, men are going to be drafted off rip. Off rip, we're going to be drafted.
Job.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your time. I hope you have a great day. I think that's the wrong way. Oh, shit. Ay.
This is the only way to go down.
It's an elevator right there. Be careful, man.
Yeah, be careful.
What are your thoughts on Andrew Tate?
He kind of sucks. I don't know.
Why does he suck?
I heard he's racist or something. Yeah, I don't know. It's just everything I heard. He sounds terrible.
What are your thoughts on him?
He definitely is not a good person. And I think that he's manipulating little boys to be assholes. My brother is in love with that guy, and it's creepy. I don't like it.
Is your brother becoming an asshole?
Yes, he's been an asshole, and it just got worse.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
All right, here. I have a little prize, though. I have $5.
Bro, I've heard certain women on different apps, bro, make certain claims that if they had a child and they started spewing the rhetoric of Andrew Tate, that they would give them up for adoption. And I said, listen, if you give your child up for adoption, bro, that's an L. Real talk. You should want your child to be masculine. You should want your child to become the best man that he could become for his family, to be able to provide and protect. But you guys are so emotionally triggered by stuff that you don't have any awareness of. You don't even question it. It's sad.
If you can give me one specific reason, like something that Tate has said of why you don't like him.
Oh, well, he got arrested. That's something that happened to him.
But that's just like a swatting. Like I could call, someone to your house and say, whatever your name is, she has 10 kids kidnapped in the basement, and the cops would show up, as they should, you know what I mean? So is there like one thing that he said that's maybe influenced your brother?
Watch him, but my brother thinks that every one of his TikToks is good, so I don't know.
Don't you think that's kind of a problem to have a strong opinion and get emotional about someone that you don't even know, like, why?
I don't have a strong opinion. I just think that my brother is acting like a bitch, and he says it's Andrew Tate, like, mentality. I think that's just him being stupid, but he says things like, he'll, like, do an asshole thing.
Yeah, this girl's an L. No disrespect to the girl, but the fact that you disrespect your brother on social media, at least that's going to go to the whole world. If he were to see that video, I don't blame him if he didn't like you from that point on. This is L.
Just be like, that's the Tate mentality.
Probably just messing with you then.
Yes, I don't know.
All right. Well, thank you guys for your time.
Pro Tate video?
It's not necessarily a pro Tate video, but a lot of people have specific views on him. They don't like him, and nobody seems to know why. So I'm trying to dig down beneath it and see why people don't like Tate.
Oh, I actually did see one interview with him where he was saying that, like, if he had a girlfriend, she wouldn't be allowed to go on vacation or something, but he could go on vacation. I thought that was really fucking weird.
Yeah, that was probably taken a little bit out of context, but for the most part, he thinks that, he doesn't want his women, like, going out to clubs alone and putting themselves in scenarios where there's a bunch of guys coming up to them. That's kind of his take.
But the whole time while he was interviewing with the lady, he was interrupting the woman like crazy. Like, he wouldn't even let her speak.
Yeah, I don't know which one you're talking about specifically, but all right. Thank you guys so much for your time. It was great meeting you. You almost feel bad for the people with the slave minds. Like, you just want to free them. Like, she gets right off the bat, she's like, oh no, is this a pro Tate video? No, I don't like Tate. And then you ask her and you're like, like, what has he said? And she's like, well, my brother watches him. I don't know. And then, you tell her, you're like, that's a problem. You don't even know what he said, and you have a strong response. And she's like, oh, I don't know. They're just bots. Like, you almost feel bad for him. You know what I mean? Free the slave mind.
Top G. I don't like Andrew Tate.
Why not?
I really don't like him, but I do like his streams with Aiden Ross. But I don't believe his morals or values.
What are some of his morals and values that you don't agree with?
Yeah, speak your truth. I don't know. You go.
I actually am not educated on this subject, so I'm gonna say no comment.
Okay, that's very valid.
Thank you.
Why don't you like him? Anything?
I just think he's misogynistic.
Oh.
All right, I got a prize for you. Well, almost. But I'll give you $5 if you can name one thing that he said that's actually misogynistic and not just like a news title.
Yeah.
That's a coffee right there. Think smart.
This is like a Starbucks, Dunkaccino, double frappe. I don't know. I don't drink that shit.
Yo, do you want to help us Wait, let me dig deep.
You can take a second. I'm not in a rush.
Can we use our phones?
No. That's a different point. I think it's misogynistic.
Sony, I see what you're doing, my brother. Listen, Sony, I see what you're doing, my brother. You eyeing her, man. No cap, I see you, man.
When he explains that women are his property.
Okay. Like there's like more to it than like women are just.
I'm not an encyclopedia on Andrew Tate.
No, that's fine. So like the thing with Tate is like a lot of people just take his clips out of context.
No, but I've watched like a full-on podcast of him and everything.
And you still didn't rock with him after a full-on podcast?
For like 55-minute podcast.
I don't think he's for the girls, if I'm gonna be honest.
No, he's for the boys, protecting and providing for the girls, but not for like who. So who would you rather be dependent on, like a corporation or a husband that truly loves you?
I feel like my husband wouldn't truly love me if he's entertained. He's fucking all these other women. As a girl, when I love someone, I don't want to sleep with anyone else. So that's my.
That's good.
View.
That's her take.
So that's why.
That's what he supports too. So what's your point?
I just don't like rock with him.
Yeah, you don't want your guy going out and sleeping with her. I mean, I understand it. Like, I'm a reasonable guy here. I also recognize that it's different for men and women. You know what I mean?
I think that's like double standard. I don't think it's different for men and women.
All right, well, that's your opinion. Real quick, I know a lot of you guys have been clipping up these videos and posting them on TikTok, so I did the liberty of cutting up a bunch of clips for you guys and throwing them in a Google Drive for you to download and post yourself. So the link will be at the top of the description of this YouTube video. You can download the individual clips, add in your own subtitles, music, micro cuts, all that kind of stuff, and throw it on TikTok yourself to go viral. See you all. Back to the video.
He can rot in jail.
Why don't you like him?
He can rot in jail? Oh, man. I'm not going to be disrespectful.
Because he's mean to women, like he beats women.
But that was like you're talking about that video? Yeah. What is it okay if that was consensual?
No, never hit a woman.
Stop.
Like even in bed when they're playing around, that's not okay?
I wasn't playing around. He full on.
All Are you there to know? Even though, like, how are you gonna say that it's not even playing around when the woman came out and said that she consented to it? What are you talking about, bro? Like, I don't know.
Like beat her up.
Well, she said afterwards that it was consensual. Did that change things or no?
All right, you got me there. You're
Oh, you got me there. You got me there. You got me there.
No, I'm not trying to just like get you. Like why though?
I don't know. I just don't like his attitude.
Dude, what about you? Anything he said specifically?
No, he's just like when he went on like the podcast or whatever with like Josh Richards, he was just kind of like narcissistic and rude.
You just don't like his attitude?
No.
But nothing really like specific, like any specific morals that he has or points that he makes that you disagree with?
No, I just don't like him.
All right. Well, thank you guys for your time.
Everyone follow me on TikTok. My TikTok is
Yeah, let's make sure to totally keep that in, Alex. What are your thoughts on Andrew Tate?
He's bald, so that's kind of sad.
I used to be bald when I was little.
I mean, makes sense.
I had cancer.
Oh, wow. So sorry about that.
Yeah, no, it's all good. But what are your thoughts on Andrew Tate?
I mean, he does all that and then looks like what he looks like. So, I mean...
You guys should be the last people to talk about another person's appearance, if we're to be honest. But I'm not going to do it to you today.
Really?
It's a lose-lose.
Because you don't like his looks?
No.
What has he said that you don't like?
What?
Owned by a 19-year-old. Like, that's kind of sad. He's like 50 or something.
What did he say?
Got owned by like a 19-year-old.
You got owned by a 19-year-old?
Yeah.
What? Oh, because Greta Thunberg ratioed him?
Yeah. And then he like fucking leaked his location and got arrested. Like, damn.
How many people actually think that this dude leaked his location because of a pizza box that doesn't say where he's actually living? You dummy? You dummy? Talking about he leaked his location. You don't think that when he leaves in and out of Romania that the Romanian government is going to know what his place looks like? What, like what actually goes through your minds when you say these things? Y'all don't even question it. Y'all just are like, oh, okay. Like, bro, what are you talking about?
Yeah, well, free take, guys. All right. Thank you guys so much for your time. Have a good one. Dude, they're just bots, bro. They're bots, bro. It's like the most NPC responses.
Facts.
We're not filming, don't worry. It's taking 30 pictures a second.
Can I see that real quick? It's recording, bro. 124 to X3. Can you come downstairs by lunch?
We'll just dip out, man. No worries. All right, thank you. The mall cops are fucking closing in right now. We're taking off, don't worry.
I'm putting together the company policy.
Okay.
I can't allow.
All right, thank you.
That's why we're headed out.
We got kicked out of the last mall, so we're now at the Prudential Center. Whole lot of yuppies. What are your thoughts on Andrew Tate?
I don't think he's good. I think
What do you?
this person, no.
Why not? Why don't you rock with him?
He said some bad things.
What has he said?
I don't really know. I just heard people say that he's bad, so I think he's bad.
Don't you think that's a?
So people tell you he's bad, and you're just like, okay. And you don't question it. You don't think about what the reality is, and you think that that's okay. That's an elf.
Problem that you just like hear other people say that and then you like adopt that thinking or
No.
no? You don't think so?
No, not really.
All right, guys, have a good one. Bots, bro, they're bots. What are your thoughts on Andrew Tate?
I don't like him.
Why don't you like him?
He's kind of an asshole, you know what? You don't know who Andrew Tate is? He's scary man. He's arrested. Yeah.
The Romanian dude.
You know what? Yeah,
Yo, that guy's.
Wait, so why don't you guys like him? Like, what has he said that you disagree with?
Well, then I don't really watch any of his shit because I don't like care. You know, like, I don't.
No, I get that.
I don't keep up with that kind of stuff. But the only video I've ever seen of him was him like saying like women can't drive and shit like that. Just like every stereotype. But I mean, I don't care what he says.
Yeah, that's valid. Do you have any thoughts or anything? Or no?
He hates women.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't hate women.
How can he hate women, but he has multiple girlfriends? Talk to me, man.
And he just.
He sounds like it. Like, how do you feel about Andrew Tate? You like him?
I like a lot of his message. Having a strong mind, a strong body's a strong mind. A lot of his business advice is.
Pay attention to the way she's looking at him. The girl on the right here is feeling Sony. Okay, my man. She's feeling you, man.
Really good. A lot of stuff he says about women isn't necessarily just like men are better than women and what a lot of people think. He says like you should protect and provide for your girl and stuff like that. And like as a man, you should take on the hardship in a relationship and your woman.
What if there's not a man in the relationship? Yeah.
Oh, if it's two girls or something?
Yeah.
I mean that's different. That's totally fine too.
I mean, I guess that's like fine, but I feel like it shouldn't always be that way.
Yeah.
Like,
why do you have to have gender roles anyway?
It should always be that way.
Why can't you just?
Well, naturally you revert to gender roles when shit hits the fan, you know? So like if let's say we went to war, the men would be going
You think
out
I'm the
to
man?
war. Do you not believe in gender roles at all?
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, like, they're obviously a thing, and it depends on the
So
relationship.
like you recognize that like obviously like men are just like physically stronger than women. Yeah. So you're realistic like
Biological standpoint, yeah, but like socially, no. Maybe in like work and shit, like yeah, but that's not like controlled by. That's controlled by more like social shit. But I think like just general standpoint, no, men aren't more like protective or more. They shouldn't be more protective. They shouldn't have more like, oh, I'm a man, I need to.
I like how you keep saying shouldn't, should. You're living in idealism instead of realism. That's not realism.
Protect my woman if she doesn't want it.
so like if you have a boyfriend and let's say someone breaks into the house, you wouldn't expect for your guy to be the one to run down and deal with that shit. You'd run down.
100%. Oh, I would run down there and I'd be like, get the fuck out of my house, bitch. I
So-
protect my.
They might hurt you. They might potentially off you. Like it's not a joke.
Man.
Even in like a gay relationship, is there one person that would take that role of like I'm the one that's gonna deal with shit if someone? I'm just asking a question too. Like,
Yeah, but I feel like if you're in like a straight relationship, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's the man.
so just because you're the man, you're saying you don't have to do that.
So at all. Not at all.
Sometimes
Yeah.
you need your girl to do shit for you, and you know what? That's okay.
No, I totally agree that the girl has to do shit sometimes too, but I wouldn't want my girl to have to do like the physical stuff.
You wouldn't want your girl to protect you?
No, if shit goes down, no, like that's not. I just don't believe that's her job. Like if a guy is truly being violent and wants to hurt someone, I
We can really hurt somebody. That's what I said. Sony's based. Shout out to Sony, man.
don't think my girl should be standing in between that. I think she should be running and try to find safety, and the dudes should try to fight.
She should. If she doesn't, she can run. If she wants,
She wants to, but if it's an angry guy, she's gonna get whacked.
I think it's very fair to want to protect your girlfriend or whatever, but I think that it's also very fair for the girlfriend to want to protect the
I get that, but at the same time as well too, it's not her place. Respect.
boyfriend. Like,
gotta go.
I agree with you. Like the girl wants to, but like if I had a girlfriend, which I don't, I would say like
Sony, don't bring that up again, bro. Please.
get out of here. Like if someone's like trying to hurt us, you know what I mean?
no, I definitely understand the like, okay, I want to protect her. Yeah, but I don't think that it necessarily is because she's a woman or because you're a man.
What if the man doesn't want to do it every time? What if the man gets tired?
That's tough shit though. Another thing he says is like you don't do what you want to do. You do what you're supposed to do. Use your cerebral cortex. What should I be doing now?
Like natural instinct type shit?
Not even just natural instinct. Just like, do I feel like going to the gym? No. Should I go? Yes. And
If you think that's in your best interest, do whatever you want. Do what you think is in your best interest in the long term and the short term.
Okay.
Like,
Tate might be seeing this, so do you have any message for him?
Go Michigan State Spartans.
Okay.
I'll give these girls respect in the sense that at least they weren't very disrespectful to Tate, and that's important. At least disrespectful to Sony as well too in the conversation, because you have to understand a lot of women when they don't like to hear certain things, they tend to get disrespectful. So much respect to them.
stay respectful.
Facts.
Stay respectful.
You're entitled to your own opinion, but stay
this to him,
respectful.
or are you just gonna post?
No, I post this on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
But
What's your YouTube?
here, I'll show you.
Okay.
You want to throw it down? Thank you guys for being like respectful though, you know? A lot of people just get like angry.
You're definitely allowed to have your own opinion.
No, yeah, you can have your own opinion. You're not being a dick about it.
At the end of the day, it's like you still want to protect people, so like whatever, that's
Yeah.
your thing. Do that. Perfect. And you'll find a girlfriend. You'll find a fucking girlfriend.
You will. You'll find a girlfriend.
Thank you guys so much for watching. As expected, a whole lot of NPC answers, but we were able to free some minds. You know, some people finally clicked for them that maybe it doesn't make sense to have a strong emotional opinion about someone that you don't even know why. But yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, drop a follow. I'm giving $100 to someone who follows my Instagram and comments on my last post. That winner is going up soon, so make sure you enter that. And yeah, thank you all. Peace.
All right, guys. Very good interview by Sony Faz. Shout out to Sony Faz once again. We're gonna get into the next video, guys, by Jubilee. Let's do it. I did want to watch this one. All right, guys. Does slavery affect African Americans or not?
Me coming from Africa, I came here to better my life. And I feel like personally, we need to stop using the word racism when we don't get something or when something don't go our way.
Let me jump in real quick. No disrespect, but racism exists, and I have to acknowledge it. And I can't just ignore it, but what I can do is not buy into the system.
Step forward if you agree. Slavery affected my family.
Yeah, I mean, that's just evident in my last name, King. I mean, that's the brand of the slave owner that put that name on my family all those years ago, and I'm still wearing it in those ways, along with the compounded, economic disparity, social disparity, mental trauma, all of that. I mean, it's tethered forever.
So to go back to slavery and talk about posts.
You mentioned mental trauma. What trauma did you go through physically? Did you go through any trauma regarding slavery?
Traumatic stress disorder. It has never stopped. So there is no post. What my great-grandparents were teaching my grandparents, who taught my mother, who taught me, came from what they learned through slavery. So there's a lot of fear, a lot of insecurity, a fear of society, a fear of law enforcement. So slavery has made a major impact where the low self-esteem is consistently reoccurring. I think for me, growing up in Los Angeles, California in the early 1960s, there was a stereotype that I didn't want to be black, I didn't want to be African because we come from Africa or we're slaves. So I want to be a Chinese boy, I want to be Bruce Lee. So growing up like that, I didn't like myself and who I was. I didn't like the color of my skin or the way that I spoke. So I emulated other people. I wanted to be something that I was not.
I'll say this, I think most black people growing up in America, whether you're African, whether you're African American, you're usually frowned upon, but it's something that you have to learn how to do, which is to love yourself, appreciate your flaws, work on yourself, self-improvement, skincare, get your money up. It's something that you have to always improve, Let's continue.
It's very saddening when you can literally only go back a couple generations and then it's like the documents just don't exist. There's no record. It's like, my family has completely been erased. In that same point too, in the time that we've been here, we've created an incredible culture and we have so many things to be proud of. And I always reframe the narrative myself and I speak of my ancestors that were enslaved as, doctors and healers. And it's like, we were taken because we were talented, because we had skills to offer. And we built this country, so.
And still building.
And still building, that's something to take pride in, so.
Can the disagree a step forward?
Slavery didn't affect my family, but we did suffer a different type of slavery back home. Like we went through colonization. Like I am Bamileke, there was a massacre of Bamileke. You guys can look it up. They killed more than 300,000 of my people because we didn't want to assimilate to the French culture. But it's still nothing compared to what you guys' ancestors been through,
I wouldn't want to minimize that pain though. What you just said hurt me, that 300,000 people were killed because they would not conform to the colonization of the French people. So that is just as painful and hurtful as the trauma that we suffered here in America.
I can't share the same experience that you have went through and your family, even though we also had our own type of slavery. We had apartheid at the time, where the Dutch people took over and they wanted to just have South Africa, Namibia, and I think other countries where we could only just speak Dutch. It's somehow still happening even now. There's a place in South Africa where it's called Orania, and it's just Dutch people there. No black person is even allowed there. So we still somehow feel that oppression even now, but it's nothing compared to what your ancestral history, has gone through. I'm somehow happy that you guys have forgiven it, even though you haven't forgotten it. Have you forgiven it? I mean, your face is like.
Do that, but me personally, no, I haven't. But I want to work through the change. But no, I have not forgiven because it's a system that's still going on. And from what I'm hearing from you guys, there's a system that's still going on in Africa as well, and it's a war on us.
Racism is the main cause of poverty among black people in America.
Racism is a very big issue that talking about it, I'm really trying to be careful to not like say anything that will
She's
be
Nigerian.
insensitive.
That's sad.
If-
That's actually sad. You're one of my people. I can hear the accent, and you think that racism causes poverty. Oh man.
If opportunity is right here, they will give it to people of other race than African American and Africans too. So if there's a job that maybe have math requirement, I feel like they'll pick an Asian person, or they believe, oh, African Americans will not dress appropriate, so they will pick another person. They will always like pick people that are not black over people that are black.
And I also think, I think the crucial like missing point when we talk.
Which tribe is she from? Is she Igbo, Yoruba? I need to figure out, bro. For real, for real. You can't be embarrassing us like this, bro.
About economic disparity, time. Time is the most valuable currency. And if you have like a stock that's like the American dream is the stock, and you know, during all that time, all that asset, the American dream was appreciating, and you're not allowed to take out business loans, you're not allowed to read, you're not allowed to write, you had to first fight to become 3/5 of a citizen, then you got Jim Crow, and then you got everything else. It's like, you're now having to buy in at a price so high because the time is irreparable. You can't get that back. One black person today cannot, in one lifetime, achieve what generations of white families were able to do simply because they didn't have to compete with us to do it.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. Like,
Yeah, I was thinking, just like you said, from a historical standpoint, we start with slavery, then that's centuries, generations of stolen labor, like you said. Then we get into Jim Crow, which is just an extension of that. Then we have redlining, we have mass incarceration, we have events like the bombing of Tulsa and Rosewood in Florida, and all these different examples of our wealth being decimated. And I don't say that to come from a defeatist or a victim mindset, but I think if we just have an honest conversation about history and what we've gone through when we've been here, racism is definitely a big part of that. And there are a lot of successful Black Americans, a lot of millionaires, a lot of, business owners, but they're...
That should just go to show you that racism is not the reason why Black people are poor. It's because of their own decisions.
exceptions for sure for a reason. And there's a big difference between income and wealth.
You have to understand one thing right now. If you're born into poverty, it's not your fault. But if you die a poverty-stricken person, it's completely your fault. And that's just facts. Let me say that again. If you are born into poverty, it's not your fault. But if you die a poverty-stricken person, it's completely your fault.
I would like to challenge the ideal that African Americans are lazy or that we don't have a good work ethic. I think there's this perception that, we're here, we're in America, how are we not doing better for ourselves? So,
yes.
I thought I was gonna be the only one staying. I was gonna be like, oh, I'm about to be like Kanye West, but okay, there's a lot of things we can use as an excuse to hold us back, to not to reach our potential.
Exactly.
But it's up to us to look past that. Like me coming from Africa, I came here to better my life, my family. I'm the only one here. And since I have been here, there's a lot of bad things that happened to me. There's also a lot of good things that happened to me. Us African or African American, we need to look past racism and just focus on our own goal. What do we want to achieve? And we need to stop using the word racism when we don't get something or when something don't go our way, and just keep trying.
So let me jump in real quick. No disrespect, but racism exists, and I have to acknowledge it. And I can't just ignore it, but what I can do is not buy into the system. If I want to do something, let me be the entrepreneur. What I believe happened in the 1960s is that we started looking for equal rights, to be equal with other people. And what we stopped doing, and I heard you talk about Tulsa, we stopped using the Black-owned businesses. Now, because you guys got to understand, the Fair Housing Act in 1968.
Listen, this older brother can talk about whatever he wants to talk about. I'm going to tell you the problem with the Black-owned businesses. The problem with the Black-owned businesses is that you see a lot of these Black people that want to start businesses, right? They're just in it for themselves. They don't think past what they're supposed to think past. All they want to do is run everything by themselves instead of scaling the business by hiring people that can do what you're trying to do better than you. That's what you see white people do, and that's why they make more money in certain situations like that. That's the reality.
I'm 5 years old. That's when we could move off the east side of LA and move into other subcultures. So what I wanted to do at 8 years old was go to IHOP. I didn't want to go to the ma and pa restaurant anymore. I wanted to go to, let's go eat at the hotels. So what we did is stop supporting each other and started supporting corporate America. So the racism plays a major part, but we don't have to buy into it.
I've been waiting to disagree with you, my brother. I'm waiting patiently. The thing is, even though I want to disagree with you, I get where you're coming from. When I see black people talking about racism, all that stuff, I'm like, what is wrong with these people? You guys have food, you have EBT, all this thing, and you're here shouting about somebody is racist too. Just leave that person and move on. I feel that way. Like, why are they always like complaining? But when Black Lives Matters started happening, like, I sat down, I said, I need to actually know why these people are pained. And if we look at the history, what they've done to them, like if you actually sit down, watch some documentaries, how they were maltreated, I don't think if I'm actually born, I will forgive those people. I don't care. It's easier for us Africans that were raised in Africa to feel like they're complaining because we were raised through struggle. Like I barely even have water, and you have water, you're complaining. But then it's not about the basic necessity or about how we are raised. We are raised like, I don't want to say way better. We might not have resources, but there are some way, like our own people will not look down on us or put us behind. So it's in they're nurtured that way. Like they just can't overlook it. And if you sit down and watch everything that the forefathers have been through for real, I changed my mind. No, they need to be angry. However, they should still move forward.
I mean,
this is the thing though, my Nigerian sister, right? The reality is that if you're encouraging them to be angry for what their ancestors went through, then you're going to continue to encourage them to be in a defeatist and victim mentality when it comes to them believing that racism is the reason why they are poor in America as black people, when there are other black people that are millionaires, billionaires, people that are successful in whatever business, making six figures, whatever, right? Making 70,000, whatever. It's a mentality thing. You have to trick your mentality into believing that I can do these things. And it's not even only about tricking your mentality, it's a mentality shift. You have to shift your mentality into believing that you can accomplish these things. You figure out, these people are not that much different than myself. Why can't I make it happen? And then figure it out. Watch videos, take notes, and start implementing every single day. Because whether or not you believe it's impossible or not, it's possible. Trust me when I tell you it's possible. But you got to shift your mentality. That's the first step. Then everything else will start happening after that. And that's a fact.
We have police brutality back home too.
True.
We have, like, if you go to Cameroon and then you see how the police officer treat us and they're black just like us, you're not even gonna believe it, you know? And in Cameroon we have this, have you guys heard of the word like tribalism? So
Yeah.
I don't think they know what tribalism is because they don't have tribes here in America. They have races. So it's the same thing, but it's just in regards to tribes.
Yeah, it happens in Nigeria.
Yeah, so we do get oppressed too. And
I agree.
so when I'm saying like we need to like look past that, I'm not saying forget what happened to you guys or me. At the end of the day, we cannot just sit and just grieve on the past. We have to be able to move on, but not forget. If I could choose a place to live, it would obviously be my country. I love my country, but right now, my country is not the best choice for me. There's a little genocide going on in Cameroon right now. So many innocent lives are being taken. If I was still in my country, the opportunity that I have here, I would not have those opportunities there.
Hip hop reinforces stereotypes about the black community.
Definitely does. Everybody should come over. Everybody come over. It's
In
facts.
South Africa, we have our own version of hip hop, so we call it kwaito. So they would rap in our own language we call it vernac. So
Yeah, we do it. In Nigeria, we have it too. At least when it comes to the Igbo, right? So we have people like Fino, PHYNO. So he'll rap in Igbo. You know, I mean, you have a lot of people who will rap and do a lot of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like it's everywhere.
back home, it kind of did reinforce some stereotypes because now when you go out in the world, people will just classify you under one group. And growing up, also looking at American entertainment, looking at the hip hop that's done here, I'm like, oh, well, you're rapping about drugs, you're rapping about this. Of course it's going to happen. Of course you're going to go to jail. But getting older, you see the culture as well of hip hop. I had to understand that there's a culture within that.
I was alive when hip hop started, and it was during a time where people rapped about what they saw, what they wanted in life. And then it became where people rapped about what they had been through, what they had gotten over. You know, used to sell drugs, used to hurt people, but now this is who they are. And I think it's gotten into now, and in our day and age now, it's where people are glorifying and wanting to pretend that these are the things that they do on a daily basis when it's not. So it went from storytelling to now really it's truly storytelling, but it's unhealthy for our culture.
I don't want to on my radio and all I'm hearing is, I put a bullet in it, something. Like, I'm like, eh? That's what you would do? No, like, and then it's like, it's all about like, talking about female body type, the booty, the thing, like, don't talk about my booty like that. So I don't want to listen to something that portray me as a female that way, or something that is talking about how you put bullets in my head. Like, if you actually do not come to America and see for yourself, you would think that most African Americans are carrying guns around and they just shoot randomly, or they just grab your ass or something like that. That's the way the music portray them. And music is a very important element in our society because it influences a lot of people, both youngs and adults, and then they kind of see all those stuff and they act like that, even though that's not what they really want to be. They act like that and behave like that. Like if all these rappers are your role model, then you want to be like them. You want to be cool too. So in the end, it's about like the people that are packaging the music, and sometimes it's about trend, is what people want to hear.
The American dream is only for white people.
I believe that the American dream is only for white people because it says equal. And when we talk about equal, there's no equality.
The only reason why you're saying that is because you're victim blaming, or you're victim shifting. You gotta take accountability of your own life. Even you're still alive. As long as you're alive, you're healthy, and as long as you're healthy, you have the ability to do whatever you want to do. So stop victim shifting or victim blaming and make it happen. Make the American dream happen for yourself and for your family.
Equality, but
the reality is that nobody's coming to save you. Gotta make it happen. You feel what I'm saying, woke family?
between the 1%, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Trumps, and the people who really run the media and things of that nature. So for black people growing up in America and living in America, we could become rich, we could become wealthy, but we are not on the equal playing field of white America. The system of white supremacy, which is in the law enforcement, which is in the judicial system, which is in the prison industrial association, also in the politics. We are not equal in any of those terms.
When I was back there and when you were speaking, I started thinking, like, could we ever actually, as black people, have the American dream here in America? And I don't know if we really can, I'm trying to be careful with my words, but I do think there needs to be a degree of separatism. Like, black people, we really need to have our own to fully take part in that dream.
This is their system. Yeah. Why would we dream of being equal in a system that wasn't designed for us?
The American dream, at least the way that I define it, is, freedom of opportunity, freedom to choose what I want to do, freedom to acquire wealth the same way that anybody else can. Obviously, we're fighting the tides of time on that and our circumstances, but it's hard because it's hard to honor that, but then also want more for myself. And I think that as black people, we're always teeter-tottering on that line of like, well, am I American? Like, do I get the American dream, or do we just tear all this down and build something new? White people are not the only people entitled to the American dream.
Thank you. That's what it means to take accountability. Everybody else wants to divert it.
Ever. Yeah. And I think that that's why we're all here, because our ancestors made it so that we can stand here and pursue that American dream.
And this is why black people should not receive reparations, period.
I wouldn't have been here if it meant that it was not for everyone. I wouldn't have even entered America. You know, I feel like not just African, but other people as well in different countries. And from what I have seen, I've seen other people, even Africans and African Americans, succeeding in their own way. And that's why I feel like you said, you can interpret the American dream in a different way, whatever industry or whatever it is that you're focusing on, because there is a level of opportunity there. There is some way that you can be successful. You know, talking about Trevor Noah, you know, who took over The Daily Show, it wouldn't have been possible for him coming in as an African. He got his American dream. It made us as well, other Africans, believe that it is possible.
The American dream writes his check. So he gets to have wealth or whatever it is that he's experiencing, but the American dream is the one who writes his check, not him.
I agree with you. I agree with you. But do you see how we would put it as he had his American dream, even though someone writes his check? But for him, or for some of us looking at it on the other side, that's his American dream, because his goal was to get there. The biggest cultural shock I saw coming here was definitely the lifestyle, because the lifestyle I saw of America, especially Los Angeles, was portrayed as a very rich lifestyle. And of course, I came here as a student, and coming here, living here, and seeing the reality of it, seeing different homeless people, disadvantaged people, was really a cultural shock for me, because I didn't expect to see that. And I guess also the way people were handling each other, because coming in as an African, I thought people were together, but
People are not together in America. I'm going to say something right now. America is almost as individualistic as you can imagine it. You can literally be in a room with 5 other people, and you guys will not engage with each other because everybody's on their phones. Whereas if you go back to places like South Africa, maybe South Africa, I can't speak on it too much, Nigeria, when you have like a lot of people in a room, 5 people, 10 people, 20 people, most people are not on their phones. They're engaged, having conversations, joking, playing card games. It's togetherness. It's like a sense of community. You understand? It's not like that in America. It's completely different.
since being here, I saw that there was a huge divide, or there is still a huge divide within the African American community themselves.
If he had stayed in South Africa, would he have the same opportunity that he had here?
No.
Like, so corporate is writing his check, but like us growing up, the reason we move here is because we don't have it better back home. Like for me, I'm the first person ever in my family in America. Everybody else is back home. Everybody's depending on me. All of them, my mom, she's dying to come here. Like, she's willing to do anything just for her to be in America. So for me, when I look at those like little things, I'm like, yeah, American dream is for everybody, Like, yeah, we might not have the same opportunity as the white people, but there's still that little chance that a lot of us back home are willing to take just to get here.
Facts.
I trust law enforcement.
I'm not going over there.
I don't have a thing to say.
All right, can the disagreeer step forward?
Yeah, nobody trusts law enforcement.
I got married to a young lady who did 15 years in prison for a robbery she didn't commit. I myself was incarcerated for 6 months for a burglary that I couldn't have committed because I was in prison. So in 1987, I'm doing 19 months in prison. When I came home in 1988, I was given a burglary charge and I had to sit 6 months. And the judge did not kick it out because there's no way I could have done it. He kicked it out because they didn't serve me the warrant while I was in prison. So I don't trust them. They lie and they do things and it affects our people. So many people I know who have been wrongfully arrested, wrongfully convicted, and they actually lie on the stand, so there's no trust.
As you guys know, I am from Richmond, Virginia. It was the capital of the Confederate. I have been brutally abused by the police there. Like, personally, I was at the river on the 4th of July. I don't smoke. I don't do none of that. The police come and arrest me because I look like a drug dealer. Like, they arrested me.
What? The stereotype.
Then when I was in high school, my senior year, my father went to jail over a car accident. And I was left alone at 17 years old. I was grateful. One of my teachers took me in and raised me. I try to stay away from the police as much as possible.
First of all, they're
You know, it's funny. Whether it's Africans, whether it's African Americans, they generally tend to have the same opinion on the police. They do not mess with the police. They don't like the police. And I think it's because the police have branded themselves in a way that has made most of the American public, at least when it comes to being black, well, not most, but I'll say that most, I'll say the American public when it comes to being black. So the African Americans or Africans not have that trust in them, right? So.
human beings, and I think that just because you put a badge on doesn't magically bewitch you with like integrity and a desire to actually help the people around you. I think a lot of times police culture comes from police families. It comes from like legacy lines and this whole like kind of like culture about stuff. I mean, I don't trust them any more than I would trust any other person. They haven't earned that necessarily, especially not as an institution in its purest form. I think it's necessary, but they have a lot of living up to that to do and to make up for if they're going to be trusted.
I've seen law enforcement here on social media and seeing how they treat people of color, you know, from like hitting them. I mean, George Floyd, you know, rest in peace. But just seeing that from my experience being here, I was scared, you know, like every time I'd see a cop pass by, I'm like, okay, I better make sure I'm driving okay, you know, because I don't want to be stopped, or make sure you're not in any harm's way, you know. But it's sad to feel that pressure every time you see a cop going by. And even if they're trying to help, but I wouldn't even want that help because of what I've been seeing on social media, you know, and also seeing the case of people being wrongfully, you know, taken to prison. That's like unfair. Like, what type of research are you doing before you arrest people?
And I immediately thought about the history of the police too, just tracing that back to slave patrols, which became our modern day.
You know what? This is my thing. I'll give you guys my, I'll give you my opinion on the police. I'm neutral. I don't hate them. I don't like them either. There was a situation about a little bit over 2 years ago. This was back in late 2020, October, right? I believe it was, yeah, around that time. I was driving on the highway and I had a spare tire on the driver's side of my car. And it was a situation that the spare tire popped on the highway. And I had to pull over on the left side. Mind me, the left side of the highway usually, when you're driving in America, is a fast lane. There was a police officer that had seen me from the front of the highway. I don't know how he had seen me, but he had seen me. And he basically reversed his way back to where I was to be able to try to not have me start traffic or crowd the traffic. And he was able to basically bring me over from the left side of the highway to the right side in order to be able to get me to safety, right? After that, instead of allowing me to be able to call AAA to come and have my car towed, he came over to my passenger side and started harassing me, asking me for my license and my registration. And I said, listen, I didn't speed. I didn't do anything. Why are you harassing me, asking me for my license and my registration? But I'm going to tell you why I think it was personally. I think he harassed me because he had seen the type of car I was driving. And he had racially profiled me, right? So I was on the phone with AAA and I was on the phone with my sister. Next thing you know, he tries to force me to get out of the car, right? So I get out of the car and I come towards the back of the car, like where the trunk is. And he starts harassing me, talking about this and that. Like I don't even fully remember what he said. All in all, he had my car towed. And I think I had to pay like almost $500 that day. I might be wrong. I don't remember. This is like two years ago. Just to have my car taken out of the pound that day, right? I was very, very upset because it's like, all I asked you to do is to be able to help me move my car from the left side to the right side because I had a flat tire. And you cost me $500 that day because you racially profiled me. So now you wonder why black people don't trust the police. Let's continue though.
Police departments and...
Oh, the fact that like if you have a felony, you can't vote. Like that to me is like, talk about the loss of the American dream. Like you are a citizen of this country, you should always have a right to vote.
We are obsessed with race in America.
Facts, everybody come over. Everything is a race-based thing.
I think that word obsessed is such an interesting word, and I think that the way that that question is framed is almost as if it's like the onus is on us, like we're obsessed with race too much. Like, no, white people are obsessed with race in this country. They've made their laws based on it. They've cast us out because of it. They've like destroyed entire groups of people because of it. So, I mean, we're just living in the ripple effects of the stones that were cast in the pond of history. So we're just reacting to it. So we would rather just be human beings and American citizens and, you know, people that are pursuing an American dream. We'd rather not have to think about race, but that, we did not draw first blood on that.
What else do you expect?
Yeah, like, I
given the
mean,
history
I'm not
like,
obsessed.
For me, being in America give me an opportunity to like meet and like discover so many different culture that I would never see if I was in my country. I would just like maybe hear about it on the news. Yes, I agree. I think they are very obsessed with race. Even when you do like an easy application, like it doesn't matter what application you do, they want to know your race. They want to know, you know, why they don't have a category for Africans.
Exactly.
You know?
That's why I be checking out every time.
They want to know everything.
The thing that pisses me off the most is that when they see you, and they be like, oh, you have an accent. Where are you from? Like, who cares where I'm from? Just sell me this thing and let me keep going.
And then when you tell them that you're African, they be like, what country?
Yeah, they're so obsessed with where you're from.
She be like Wakanda.
Like,
I don't believe that there's an obsession about race in America. I believe that race is a distraction to hide the power, the wealth, and the access to it. So a lot of times there's something put on the table like a rock being thrown and I hold my hand, and that's the racism between black and whites, between blacks and Hispanic, and other cultures have come here. We'll talk about race just so that we don't have access to the power and the wealth, and I think it's done on purpose. There's a power that allows us to talk about race if we don't look past it.
some of the question prompts that I see differently, and then when I hear somebody say it, I'm like, that actually makes sense coming from their perspective. So it's been really beautiful having this conversation with you guys. You guys are very knowledgeable, and I've learned a whole lot from each and every one of you today.
Going into this with like the title of the series, like African versus African American, I think that like people were gonna come in thinking that we were gonna be like guns blazing, but this is such a beautiful display of unity. I love it. It like gave me so much life today.
All right, guys. Definitely, hold on. Definitely a very good debate. We're gonna watch a little bit of Sneako's podcast. Shout out to Sneako, that's my guy. You already know I gotta support. So let's hop on his live stream real quick. We'll watch a few minutes, and then from there we'll end off stream. So just give me a second, real quick.
That's worse. Well, it's not just about disagreeing about whether or not it exists. And the fact of the matter is, even in a patriarchal society which doesn't exist, men and women can still go and make the same amount of money. If women majored in higher paying fields of study, they would make more money. When we talk about men's mental health, I separate it from patriarchy because I think that to be expressive about what you're feeling and what you're going through,
it's just men talking about their feelings. It's just kind of
you have to be strong. And being strong, I associate that with being a man, being masculine. Maybe society would like to beat you up for that. Maybe that's why men are likelier to commit suicide. But that is still an example of strength.
I think that as we get further and further along the generations, we need to start preaching to young men the type of strength that you were talking about. Self-awareness, discipline, and honesty, emotional honesty. Not being tough and not like, being able to go through a lot, but being aware when you're going through something, when you're struggling, being able to articulate that, right? And doing it to the right people at the right time. I think that is what strength is. And I think that that's a positive message that we could communicate to the next generation about masculinity.
We ended on consensus.
Yes, that is a wrap on.
Oh, okay. Woo! Okay, I wanted to watch this. It's probably going to be corny. I want to watch it anyway because they had some good videos about Tristan and Andrew that I watched late at night.
Life's too short to exercise. I'm just going to be honest. There's so many better things to do than exercise.
There's so many better things to do than exercise.
We have finite time on this earth.
Oh, yeah? The gym's a waste of time, right?
making between 1,000 and 1,500 British pounds every week. I was the company's top salesman. I was working 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. And one of the most telling points in my life, in mine and Andrew's, I guess, origin story, is Andrew turned around to me one day when I got home and he said, you know, bro, I'm just going to start selling for insulated conservatories. I'm going to get your job. We'll combine our money. We'll be on £3,000 a week. It's not bad. I looked at him in the eye. I said, Andrew, you can't do that. You can't accept that job. You can't come work for my company, because once you do, then that's who we're going to be. You've got to think of something better. You do your training, you do your fighting, you're exhausted all day. Take the time, spend the day thinking, researching, and find something better. I'm going to go and make the money. I'm going to make sure that our heads stay above water. And that's one of the most important decisions we ever made.
Free Tristan.
Catch him again. Catch him again, Tristan. Boom. 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 He's done. He's done.
Right here, if you ever saw this, this was when he was on this reality show. He's like 23 or something like that.
Yeah, this is
probably
young
like the
Tristan.
average age of my chat, early 20s. Just remind yourself that Andrew and Tristan are in their mid-30s, and you see how much they accomplished in their time. If you get your mind right and you get your body right and you start ignoring the distractions now, you could be as successful as they are when you're their age.
Technical knockout round 4. The winner in the red corner, Tristan Tate.
Here's the Legend of Cobra, free Andrew.
Yeah, free.
I didn't see mine yet. I just
Free
Andrew's.
Can you come in tomorrow?
Men think they're so much more important than they are. Like,
That's what
we
I'm
don't even need y'all for a good nut no more.
Yeah.
Like,
Like it's that rose that you were advertising. And even if they are there, if it's mediocre, it's not worth it anyway.
Do you think men are important? Like for what?
Oh, feminism.
That men can have feelings, that men can cry. It's okay to be weak.
I believe in God. I do believe in God because demons are real. There's genuine evil in this world. I've seen it with my own eyes. And there's always an equal and opposite force. If demons are real, then God must be real. Some of the things that are happening in the world today is truly the work of the devil. By extension, God must be real. There's no way the devil can exist without him. And if you want to argue whether the devil exists or not, then you're not taking a very close enough look at the world. The people who are defending the Matrix and trying to purport its ideas, these people are genuinely, truly evil in their hearts. They don't care about humanity. They don't care about free speech. They're not pro-human. All they care about is trying to enforce ideologies regardless of how it affects people negatively. They're truly full of hate. And that makes them evil people. By extension, God must exist, and God inspires certain men to resist, like myself.
Straight away.
It just really shows how the woke line used to force indoctrinate young minds. You're not supposed to disagree. Like you just I'm ready to kill. I don't do this for fun.
Simon.
Life's too short to.
Here we go. This one's called. Oh, thanks. This fucking guy.
Are these all
The
memes?
chaotic, sneaky after dark.
Seen as the prize, the man or the woman?
The woman. Ooh, the woman for sure. The woman.
The woman.
The woman.
So if the woman is the prize, what would that make the man?
The wallet.
Yeah.
Men are not meant to be dominant. Men are meant to be submissive.
Whoa, pause. That's cap. It's the other way. You got it all messed up. The Matrix wants to lie to you, man. You gotta wake up.
Haram!
As a viewer,
Yeah.
I gotta call you out on this. I feel like you've said this is gonna be the last time you're talking about Andrew Tate.
Hey, you
Is
don't
that
shut the
Pokemon?
fuck up about him, Ethan Decline.
Favor, Doc, I feel better already. How can I ever repay you?
Follow me.
Yo, a lot of you need to wake up. Wake up. Come back to reality. Get off of TikTok. Get off of Instagram. You're so stupid. You are so stupid.
This is so weird to see about me. What the fuck? Don't say L women chat. L form, no funny shit. Bro, I was 20 years. This is way long ago.
Just take your breath away. Out of mind, there's not much to say. Sometimes the silence guides the mind to move to a place so far away. The goosebumps start to raise. The minute that my left hand meets the waist.
I saw my first titties with this guy right here. He showed me my first titties ever. Not his. What'd I say to you? Plays every day when you stream, bro, for the people who what the girl you had in your stream. 20 push-ups now, chat, and sneako. Alright, 20 push-ups, chat. Best stream on Rumble, what's up? Do it, chat! Do it!
Do you think marriage is for nerds? No.
Oh no, I would love to be married.
Marriage is definitely for nerds. There's a real and a fake. Good night. Oh, shit. Leave. Gotta put my thumbs in. Yeah. Okay. Good head movement. Yeah, I can't move though. That was a Bucharest. Stupid! Bro, free Andrew and Tristan, man.
Facts. Free Andrew and Tristan, man.
This shit feels like this was 2 months ago.
No, it's been like 5, to be honest.
New stream intro, chat. specific goals of mine. You want nothing but to achieve them, but it's just hard. It's hard to stay on track. I want to do the work, I just don't know how to do it well. You can't hide behind excuses like, hey, I'm just a kid, you know? Well, what do I know better? As soon as you have those, you don't make no sense, bro. Holy fuck. That looks ridiculous. You look shocked. Why do you look like that?
Why is that?
That doesn't look at all natural. Who told you that looked good? No, it curves. It's curving eyelashes, yo. It's getting longer every single year. You can't even see their eyes anymore. It weighs more. It's like a whole nother it's another organ on your body. It just doesn't look good.
For some reason, the eyelashes, we don't even like that. Y'all doing the eyelashes. I don't know who told y'all that was cute.
Who started that? Can we dead it forever? You know that those are actually called cumbrellas, chat? And it was designed by this lady who didn't want her prostitutes, her girls. She was the top girl. And all of her prostitutes, they kept getting eye infections because people were nutting into their eyes. And so she invented eyelashes to block simp cum from infecting prostitutes' eyes. And now, girls wear them for fun. Yeah. They need to see that shit looks goofy, bro. Nobody likes those lashes. Eyelashes. Nothing in their heads but eyelashes.
I feel like maybe at the start of the night and you can be more comfortable with him, and then as the night progresses, maybe it's more consent. It's not consenting on either the men and women.
You can tell her opinions. She's gonna say stupid shit within 2 minutes because of these. I guarantee you. They were the say some nonsense. The mark of the say some delusional shit.
This just doesn't make sense.
You can't do dirty and then
be
not
upset
expect
when you're done dirty.
Yeah.
Okay. When a woman leads a man on, do you blame the man for making himself vulnerable, or do you blame the woman for taking advantage of his weakness?
Blame the woman for taking advantage, because regardless of gender, you don't take advantage of people regardless.
Okay.
It's kind of cute too. That's base. Just take these off and DM me. Don't they blink more? I feel like she didn't DM me. I can't stop looking at the blinking.
Traits and they're male to secure.
They blink a lot too. I feel like you need to blink twice as much because your eyelids just weigh more. And so I can't take what they say seriously because I hear the Disney cartoon effect. There's literally one of them is blinking. They're like birds in unison. All right, looking back now, I did a lot of eyelash content. And flapping their wing. It looks like 4 pigeons eating food and they just flatter their wing like every. Look, pay attention. Trust me, once you notice it, you will not be able to hear them.
Because most women want to date a man on their level or higher. Once again, isn't it true that women would often rather be the emperor's mistress than the peasant's wife? So if a woman wants a loyal man, wouldn't she have to settle for...
Eventually, they're really going to become wings and bitches are going to fly away.
An average man rather than a high-value man that every woman wants?
I mean, yeah.
Unfortunately, that's what's happening.
We need to stop this. Maybe this stream could be a start of a revolution on your goofy-ass faces. Stay away from those lashes. All right. That was not as inspirational as I thought it was going to be. That was 3 minutes of me with bad form boxing, and then another 5 of Lee. Who remembers that? That was a good era, bro. And it feels like it was a long time ago, but that was back on BotTube. Ugh. Banned, but we're still taking over on Rumble. Yo, I saw some people in the chat were talking about how like they wanted me to play video games and they're tired of me watching videos all day. If I did play a video game, would you guys still watch, or do you only want to hear social commentary? I don't play video games.
Facts.
Those were the days, bro. Bro, that shit was not that long ago. You're reminiscing, but it was like an era. Haven't you noticed? If you've been watching the stream, I try to mature and I try to grow every single. Genuinely.
That's facts.
I'm learning and growing.
We have to learn and grow. No cap.
Yes, you would. You guys want to see games, but you really want me to be a gamer? Aren't you tired of like, they do that on every other website. The benefit that I could see of it, the way that I would justify doing some soy boy shit, which is gaming, I did play High on Life, is that there's no gamers on Rumble and I would bring a new community onto here. Hell, video games, no video games.
All right.
You can't even do a poll on Rumble yet, but the chat has started to move.
Listen, we're gonna end off this stream, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this stream tonight. Listen, if you enjoyed this stream, make sure you go spam that like button, leave comments, share this live stream with your friends, subscribe to the channel at Wokeebucks, WOKEEBUKS, and tap the notification button to get all the latest videos that I post. Patreon link will be down in the description below, and so will social media links. Make sure you guys give this a check. And shout out to the Yes Sir, Yes Sir, and Woke Gang, for what I'm saying. This is gonna be in this live stream. This is Wokeebucks, and I'm out, man.